to be honest, before I interned with Uncommon in 2011 as a summer teaching fellow, I wasn't sure about the path that I wanted to take. And I remember coming to Excellence Boys, spending 7 weeks here, and really falling in love with education. And it always brings me back to a quote that I heard while I was a freshman at Morehouse. One of the Crown Forum speakers that day said, "To hell with your career, what is your calling?" To hell with your career, what is your calling? And I remember being here in the summer of 2011 and really learning and being able to answer that question. For me, my calling is impacting and educating the future.
What really got me into education was just knowing the importance of our young boys. And at the time when I was working at another school, like the young girls, the importance of self-worth, the importance of knowledge and the application of that information. And so when I'm here as a dean, I really try to instill those values into our boys to really try to make sure that they understand that they have to balance that intelligence with their character to show their true education.
I've been with Kings for 1 year. However, I've been with Uncommon for at least 13. I started with Williamsburg Collegiate Charter School back when I was 10. Then I went on to Uncommon Charter High School, and I stayed close with the network. And the reason why I decided to, become a gym teacher is because I was just thinking, what did I need when I was growing up? When I was a student, what was I missing? So I needed a gym teacher like myself, a coach like myself, who's just gonna give it all that they have for the children. And that's kind of like my purpose and what keeps me going.
Remembering when I was younger and being in school, just how useful it would have been to just have a black male teacher, someone I could relate to, someone I could feel a deeper connection with just based off of our own experiences and the similarities behind them. I wanted to be educated because I wanted to make a difference. Growing up, I had a lot of good teachers instructing me, and I felt like I could have been one of those people in that role too to make a difference in the generation to come.
Lovely. I heard a lot of juicy thinking. Now we're gonna bring it back whole group. Sit up nice and tall. Get ready, put your eyes on Zoe.
The reason why I continue to come back to Uncommon, because Uncommon has great systems in place, just a great vision for coaching teachers and just leaders. I feel like every year I was able to get better through professional development, just meeting with different leaders and teachers from other schools. So every year I just felt like I got better as a teacher. And I just felt like as a leader and just a black man as a whole, I was seen in this environment. It was just a privilege to have a black man as a principal because it gave me a sense of belonging. Sometimes I know as a black man, it can be hard sometimes because sometimes you feel like you're the only one, the only man in the room, only man in this professional development. So it's it just builds a sense of belonging, and it also builds a sense of investment. Cause I see many black men are stepping up to the occasion. To support education.
Since I've been here, I've been able to see first Quinternus Bell, right? The first black male that I've seen in the principal role. Then I was able to walk with him and be supported by him. And then I got Jazz Grant. And I'm just excited to see that there is black excellence in the way they carry themselves in the building, outside of the building, and just making sure that they always lead with that level of excellence.
I started teaching as a high school math teacher, and when I got to my school, I was the only black male in a core academic. And so every single day became this learning journey for me. It was kind of like a self-competition of can I teach in a way such that every single student learns? And for me, that meant they mastered the exit ticket, the formative analysis at the end of the lesson. And I really used to get obsessed with dang, 5 kids didn't get it. Let me go to lunch and find them. Let me stay after school. And you start to realize your impact that kids aren't used to black male teachers, especially in the classroom. And that meant something to me. That meant something to me that I was a high performing teacher. It meant something to me that in the course of my 5 years as a high school math teacher, I taught 4 different math classes. And so even as I started to bounce around between different grades, this idea of being a nerd and being competent for kids really showed through. And they started to pick up on you just really know a lot of stuff. And it's I actually know a little, but I'm curious to know so much more than I actually know, that is what drives me. And so now, a decade later as an educator, I've grown from a teacher to an instructional leader to a department chair, was a principal, and now as a superintendent, I get to make decisions on behalf of Black and brown children that will set them up to be successful down the line. And that's not a role and a job that I take pretty lightly. It's quite stressful and overwhelming, but if I want something to stress me out, if I want something to be overwhelming, it is certainly this. And that's what matters the most, is that every single day that the kids are seen, and that there is this kind of reciprocal relationship that we have with our children, where they know that you matter and I matter, and together we're gonna make a difference. That's what it's all about. All the other fluff and stuff, it's good, it's great, but what matters is kids see us, that they're learning from us, and that they feel like they can dream big.